coming down to the ring, the team of Lane and Brandon, Howdy Radio, the next generation.
Yeah! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Howdy Radio, the next generation. I'm Brandon.
I'm Lane.
And we are at US Bank Arena right now, awaiting a Cyclones game to start. We've got 9 minutes and 8 seconds until the puck drops. So I said, hey, Lane, you want to just record Howdy Radio while we're sitting here waiting? And Lane said,
Yep.
We can't do that. I said, watch us. We sure can. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
You like the Cyclones games?
Yes.
Hey, right there's Twister.
Yep.
Twister. I wish we should live stream this. Then
Yeah.
people could see what we're doing. Oh, well. But we've got a really cool show for you today. Tell them who the special guest is.
We have my brother, which is Tyler Wiley, and yeah.
And he's pretty nervous to be on the show, but we're happy to have him. And he was on Ninja Land from Howdy Inc. back in the day, and he was on a couple episodes of the Howdy show as well. So it'll be awesome to get grown-up 15-year-old Tyler on the episode to reminisce about the old days.
Yep.
And we've got our very first annual WrestleMania predictions coming up. Are you excited about that?
Yes, I'm very excited.
So that's something that we used to always do on the old Howdy radios. We would always do an episode that was dedicated to WrestleMania. We would go through, everybody would talk about who they thought was going to win. Are you excited about WrestleMania this year?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Awesome. What is the match? Well, I guess we should save that for when we're actually talking about it.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so they're getting everything set up here. We're only a few minutes away for puck drop. So let's get into the WrestleMania predictions.
Yeah. Welcome to the first annual Howdy Radio, the next generation WrestleMania prediction spectacular.
Nailed it.
Yep.
So one thing we always did in the past on the old Howdy radios, when it became WrestleMania time, we would all kind of sit around and talk about who we thought was going to win, what matches were going to be good. So here we go. It's WrestleMania weekend, which is awesome, right?
Yes, it is.
So WrestleMania is obviously the biggest wrestling pay-per-view of the year.
Yep.
And ever since I've been a kid, when it became WrestleMania weekend time, you know, I'd always put in the old VHS tapes that I recorded and stuff and watch all the old matches. Now there's the WWE Network, so it makes it a whole lot easier. We've been watching WrestleMania all weekend long. I started last night, I watched some of WrestleMania 5 and 7. Lane wanted, we turned on 8.
Yeah.
And then...
No, I wanted to turn on 13, but then
we did
later.
skip 13. We can throw on 13 tomorrow. We still got all day tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
And so we watched 21, 22, and 25. We just threw out a bunch of random numbers, but we've bounced around and we've watched a lot of WrestleMania in the last 24 hours. And tomorrow is the big day of WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania 33. You would think that I would know that. So I've been watching wrestling since I was a little kid. And I remember that the first WrestleMania that I watched live on pay-per-view was WrestleMania 6. So WrestleMania started in 1985, so 1991 was WrestleMania 6. Hulk Hogan versus The Ultimate Warrior was the first one that I watched live. And I have not missed a WrestleMania since then. So when Lane was born, he was born into having a WrestleMania weekend party like we do every year. So Lane has technically been watching WrestleMania since, what WrestleMania was that in 2006?
2006 was...
22. We just did this math. Oh, well. So that was, in 2006 was Lane's first
22.
WrestleMania, 22, which
22.
he was only like 3 months old. So that one kind of doesn't count, but we did watch it, and he was there, so that does count. So, but as he's gotten older, he's gotten into wrestling himself, and then now here we are. Do you have like a favorite WrestleMania?
13. WrestleMania 13. It all was in
And that was way before your time.
That was way before my time, my goodness. It was like in the 1800s.
Lane just realized before we hit the record button that I'm older than WrestleMania. And he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, shut up. I am 4 years older than WrestleMania.
That's 4 whole WrestleManias older than
up.
WrestleMania.
Anyway, shut up. So
4 really good John Cena matches.
There is really good and John Cena does not go in the same sentence unless you're saying it's really good that John Cena retired. That's it.
Oh, wow. Dang.
Because his match tomorrow night is going to be one of the worst matches on the card.
He's with Nikki Bella,
Okay,
though.
so your WrestleMania's 13. That was a fantastic WrestleMania.
Yes, it was.
That really was. I mean, that's one of my favorites too. WrestleMania Goes Hollywood, one that we watched a little bit earlier, 21.
That
was
good
a
one.
great WrestleMania. It's hard for me to really just pick one, and it's hard for me to not pick WrestleMania 6 just because it was the first one that I watched. But you gotta know, man. Like when WrestleMania 6, when it was Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior, like that was just the biggest thing in the world. Do you have a favorite WrestleMania match specifically?
This was also in WrestleMania 13. It was Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And that was Iron Man match?
Yes.
With the bloody
with the
Austin.
bloody nail and the bell and everything.
Yeah, that's one of the most iconic wrestling moments ever. And that's one of my favorites as well. But again, like, you know, when it comes to matches, Hogan and Warrior at WrestleMania 6 always comes up for me. And then another one was WrestleMania 18 that comes up for me is Hogan versus The Rock, which was way after Hogan's prime. But that was just one of the most...
That was NWO Hogan, wasn't it? Or was that just Hollywood Hogan?
It was Hollywood. I think he came back as whatever. But man, that was just the crowd in that match was one of the best crowds I've ever seen in my life. The crowd made that match just insane.
Two
so
head
that
turns with it.
Oh man,
the
that was
crowd
awesome.
Going crazy.
That was cool. We gotta make sure we watch that one tomorrow because that one was just one of the coolest things.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to get into what's going on right now. Tomorrow is WrestleMania 33, and it's happening live on the WWE Network, and we'll be watching it. Is it on pay-per-view anymore?
Nope.
Is that still a thing, or is it just the WWE?
They completely took it away from pay-per-view.
All right, that's right on. That's weird, but, well, not really. The WWE Network has done great. They've done really well with it. So we are going to kind of just fly through this here. We're going to go through the card of WrestleMania tomorrow. We're each going to say who we think is going to win the match. And then when you tune in next week, we will just give you a quick update of who got the most matches right. There's a ton of matches on the card, so we're going to keep track of all of this, and then next week we'll be able to say, you know, Lane got 8 of them right, but I got 9 of them right, because of course I'm going to win. So,
Thanks.
Let's get going. So the first match listed on our little scorecard here is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This is one that's really hard to pick the winner of because we don't know everybody that's in the match.
Yeah.
So
it's mostly everybody who isn't fighting in another match.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a bunch of people that like weren't good enough to get their own matches. So, who do you think's going to win this match?
I have Shaq.
You have Shaquille O'Neal winning this match. Which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I don't care about that match.
I don't either. I
really don't.
There's a lot of things. Okay, if we're going to go through each one and say who we think we're going to win and whether or not we care about the match or not, there's a lot of matches on this card that I really don't care about. It's not the strongest WrestleMania, but that's okay. It'll still be a ton of fun.
Matches still might be good, even if you don't care about them.
Yep, you're right. So I have no idea who to pick for this. I'm going to pick, who's a big guy? It's going to be a big guy.
Like Big Show?
Big Show already won it. It can't be Big Show.
Oh, okay.
I should have done my homework on this. All right, that's exactly who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Braun Strowman as the winner of that match.
No, the fat guy.
All right, so who cares about that match?
Yeah.
So then there's the Cruiserweight Championship, Neville versus Austin Aries.
Yeah.
Don't care about that match.
Why don't you care about that match?
That might be a really good match.
That's actually gonna be a good match.
Yeah. So who are you picking?
I'm picking Austin Aries.
Who's the champion?
Neville.
Neville. Okay. It doesn't specify on our scorecard who the champion is. I'm picking Neville. I'm gonna pick him as that match.
Because he's the guy that you know.
No, I know Austin Aries.
Okay.
He's been in wrestling way longer than you know of. He was back in ROH. He was back in all kinds of those old feds. So then the Tag Team Championship ladder match. We've got...
That's going to be a really good match.
Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo and Cass versus Cesaro and Sheamus. So it's a triple threat ladder match for the Raw Tag Team title. Who you got winning? Who's the champions?
I'm trying to make
Gallo
sure.
And Anderson?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. So you're picking who to win that match?
Gallows and Anderson. I don't like them, but I know they're gonna win.
Yeah. I think I gotta pick the same. Yeah. Maybe Enzo. No, I agree with you.
Why would you say Enzo? You hate him.
This isn't who I want to win. We're predicting who we think is going to win. There's a big difference there. So, but I agree. I'm going to pick Gallows and Anderson. I think they're going to win also. I mean, it's a ladder match, so it might be cool. Yeah. But
last time Sheamus was in a ladder match, he got 5 stitches on his upper eye.
Sheamus is one of my least favorite people in this stupid company. Anyway, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one just because ladder matches, they can be good. So next up we got the United States Championship, in which Kevin Owens is the United States champion, correct? No, Jericho is?
Jericho.
Dang, I haven't done my homework on this one. So Jericho, one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, one of the best podcasters out there, versus Kevin Owens. Who you got for this one? So
Kevin Owens.
I'm sorry. So Jericho's the champion, and you're going with
Kevin Owens.
All right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Jericho's one of my all-time favorites, but I do like Kevin Owens a lot. Yeah. I am going on record predicting that this will go down as match of the night for WrestleMania 33. This will be the best match of the whole night. That's my pick. Do you have a match of the night pick?
Not really.
That's my pick of match of the night. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. And
I do, but we haven't talked about it yet.
When we get there, you let us know which one it is. So I'm going with Owens as well. All right, there's a women's championship 4-way elimination match. We've got Bayley versus Charlotte versus Sasha versus Nia. Is that how you say it? Nia. Who do you got?
You totally haven't done your homework.
No. Who do you got for that one?
I have Bayley, who is the champion. Yes, Bayley is the champion.
I'm going to pick Charlotte then, because I think what they're doing with Charlotte is that they want to do the same thing with her as Ric Flair. Ric Flair was always known as, the 18-time world heavyweight champion. There's a reason why Charlotte keeps winning the belt and then losing it. And they want to build it up.
She's going to keep getting it and keep getting it.
Right. You can't become the 10-time champion if you keep the belt.
Yeah.
So I think they keep making her lose the belt so that when times like this come around, she can win it. And they can say, oh, now she's the 5-time women's champion. So my prediction there is
up with
Charlotte.
Her father.
However, we do these prediction things every month on our own. And I've picked Charlotte a lot of times, and she hasn't done too well for me lately, but I'm picking her to win at Mania. All right, so then the next one's a pretty big match is The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns.
Oh my God.
I mean, The Undertaker matches used to be some of the best things on WrestleMania, but
then they ran out of people.
It's done. It's over with. He's done his time. I'm tired of him.
He already lost. Why do they keep going?
And I just flat out hate Roman Reigns. He's one of my least favorite wrestlers to ever exist. Yep. So who are you picking here?
I have Undertaker. You have to say Undertaker.
I'm picking Undertaker. That's the safe bet.
Yeah.
But with how much they love Roman Reigns, and they try to shove him down your throat about how great he is, and he's the guy that's going to carry the company, I wouldn't be surprised if he won. I would not at all, but I'm picking The Undertaker. That's the safe bet, I think. Yeah. All right, so then up next we've got another crappy match. It's not a crappy match. I hate Seth Rollins. He sucks. Seth Rollins versus Triple H. Who you got?
I got Seth Rollins. Okay. I'm just going to say this before you say anything else.
Okay.
Now that Seth Rollins is back, since I know you haven't done your homework, he's been, like, completely against the authority, so now he's not a jerk anymore. He bought back into the good side instead of the bad side.
Oh, whatever. All right, so you're picking Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
I am too.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins wins that one. All right, and then the match that, I want to spend the least amount of time talking about is the main event of WrestleMania 33, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Who's going to win that one?
Goldberg.
I'm picking Goldberg as well.
Okay, keep going.
And
keep going.
God,
keep going. We're not talking about that.
I hope they... they both suck.
Yeah.
All right, so then we've got a couple more matches here that aren't quite the biggest matches. Well, no, there's still some big matches left.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a women's championship match. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Natalya versus Mickie James versus Carmella versus Naomi versus all other available SmackDown women. Which is another one of them ones where you're just not sure who to pick. Who you picking?
I'm picking Becky Lynch. I don't know who the champion is.
Yeah, I think Alexa Bliss is. It seems like the first one listed here is the champion on each one of them. I just flat out don't care. So I'm going to pick Mickie James just because she's my favorite of all of them. That's it. Intercontinental Championship match. Now, this could end up being a really good match. A lot of times, the Intercontinental Championship matches at WrestleMania become
except for Miz
one of the bigger ones. Well, yeah. Nothing he does is good at all.
Yeah.
So, Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. Who you got?
I got Dean Ambrose all the way. He's the champion also.
Yeah. I got to pick Ambrose just because hometown favorite.
Yeah.
And whether or not I think he's going to win or not, I just have to pick him just because he's one of my favorite people that is in WWE right now. So that'll be cool. That could be a good match.
Yeah.
So then we've got the Power Couples Collide, a mixed gender tag team match with John Cena and his wife, Nikki.
Nope. Oh my.
No. What? Who's his wife?
He doesn't have a wife.
John Cena, girlfriend?
Yeah.
Same thing.
No,
so John Cena and Nikki Bella versus Miz and how do you say her name? Marcy?
Maurice. Oh my god. This is so cringy.
With Al Roker as the special guest ring announcer. All right, we'll just skip this one because nobody cares that match is even existing. Who are you picking?
Cena and Bella.
Of course. John Cena.
Mom's going to kill you when she actually hears this.
Who cares? All right, so this one could be a really good one.
This is going to be a really good one.
Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. Who you got?
Shane, all the way.
I'm going AJ Styles. I'm not going to agree with you on this one. AJ Styles is going to win, but hopefully Shane does something crazy. Yeah. He usually jumps off of something very
But it
tall.
is no Hell in a Cell match. There is none of that.
Right. So I'm going with Styles though.
Yeah.
All right, and then the WWE Championship. So in other words, the champion of SmackDown is Bray Wyatt, and he is defending his belt against Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That might be an alright match.
You like Bray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt's one of my favorites, but Randy Orton is one of my least favorites.
Yeah.
So who you got?
I got Orton.
You got Orton. I'm going Bray Wyatt. I don't think he's going to lose the belt. Okay. You didn't touch on it. Which one did you think is going to be match of the night?
I think Shane versus AJ Styles. That's what I think. I think that's going to be a phenomenal match.
Phenomenal. All right, so
that was so bad.
And it was. Overall, in my opinion, not the strongest WrestleMania card to ever exist.
But you still don't know what the matches are going to be like.
Well, you're right for the most part.
Just because you look at it on a sheet who's going to get sued does not mean it won't be a really good match.
You know, Jericho and Owens could end up being a snooze fest, and I could be completely wrong.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. That's not going to be a snooze fest.
It's not. No,
that's
it's not.
Definitely
But like something like Undertaker versus Roman Reigns, that might surprise me. That might end up being a good one. But I'm not betting on it being a good one because nothing that Roman Reigns does is good in the least bit.
Yeah.
So it's WrestleMania 33. It's going down tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're really excited. All day long we'll be watching wrestling, and it starts at 5 o'clock at probably won't end till midnight.
Yep.
It'll be a long, long, long day of WrestleMania, but we look forward to it every year. This is, some people got the Super Bowl, the World Series, whatever they're into, but WrestleMania is what I look forward to more than anything every year. And the last couple have been okay. They have not been that great, so hopefully they can really kind of step it up with this one, but I'm not 100% sold on the card, so I don't know. But regardless, we'll sit down. We'll have a house load of people. We usually have like 10 or 15 people for our WrestleMania parties. Family and friends come over, and it's always a great time, regardless of what happens on WrestleMania itself. Yeah. It's always a lot of fun. We eat a lot of food. We drink some beers and have a good time, and that's going down tomorrow.
And I always yell at the TV.
Yeah, that usually does happen. So WrestleMania 33 tomorrow. Next week, we'll check back in and let you know who got the most of these predictions right. All right, here we go. Our interview with my son, Tyler. What's up, Tyler?
Hello.
How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm really good. Are you excited to be doing this right now?
Definitely.
Tyler is a little bit nervous. I mentioned that last week, and I mentioned that at the beginning of the show. Why are you nervous, Tyler?
I hate being recorded visually or just auditory.
Well, I really appreciate you sitting down and doing this with us because I know you are nervous and I know it makes you all weird and stuff. So I appreciate you sitting down and recording this with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So welcome to Howdy Radio, the next generation.
Yeah.
So we've kind of, all of our special guests so far, we've started off talking about what their involvement with Howdy Inc. in the past has been. So yours is a little different than everybody else because everybody else was like a part of it, like, doing the recording and doing this and that. But you were just a little kid and you got thrown into this a little bit just because you were my kid. So first of all, before we kind of get into what you did do with Howdy Inc., do you remember any of it at all?
No, not really.
Do you remember recording Ninja Land?
I don't remember recording it.
Okay.
Actually, I think I do remember doing a couple Howdy shows.
There is no possible way that you... Because you were on... Okay, so let's just get into it. You were on the very first episode of the Howdy Show. So that's the very first thing that Howdy Inc. ever did in 2006. It was the very first thing we did was one episode of the Howdy Show. It was like a 12 or 13 minute long little thing. And the very last segment of the show was called Little Howdy in the Beginning. Do you remember this video? Have you seen this video recently at all?
I have not seen it at
So
all.
it's you, I mean, like, as a baby, like right after you were born and like all of the family.
Was that a part of when, I think it was you and Kyle interviewing me when I just kept saying that Jeff is sleeping?
I forgot about that. Hold on, let's get to that in just a second, and I forgot to make a note of that. I forgot about that episode altogether. Nice, very good call there. That's awesome.
That. I don't remember that.
So the Little Howdy in the Beginning was like a little music video montage that I put together of you, like all these little awe moments of a little baby, and I put it to an Eels song, The Good Old Days, which hits people right in the feels is what I was going for. See, did I say that? Did I say that right? Did I say that right? That was pretty good, right?
I said that earlier, and you guys thought it was weird.
So that was the first ending to the very first Howdy Show, because I thought it was a really cool way to end it, was to make everybody be like, oh, look at this little baby, they have a little baby and stuff. So you were the closing act of the very first Howdy Inc. thing ever. And that was you. But you were also, earlier on the episode, we recorded you with a hairbrush. I should have showed you this stuff before we recorded this, but we'll get to that. It was you with a hairbrush, and you were rocking out to, I believe, I'm positive, a Guns N' Roses song. I think it might have been Sweet Child of Mine. I'm not 100%. And you're sitting there playing like the little guitar on the hairbrush, and you're rocking out.
I do remember that.
And then at one point, you had an Incredible Hulk figure, which is funny because we're going to be talking about that kind of stuff here in just a minute. There was an Incredible Hulk figure. This was my favorite part of that segment. the Hulk figure was like sitting there on the couch, and like as you're rocking out with this hairbrush playing it like a guitar, like you walked up to the figure and you said, "Rock, Hulk, rock!" Like you were telling like the little action figure that he needed to rock just like you did. So that was like one of the earlier in the show segments. So you had 2 different parts on the very first Howdy show. And then I totally forgot until you literally just now said it. It was, I think, episode 2 of the Howdy show. Maybe 3. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it was, we went up to Columbus with Kyle, who has done a million things with Howdy Inc. And we did like a little interview segment with you. Mm-hmm. And do you remember that one?
Is it the Jeff is sleeping?
That's the Jeff is sleeping. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, you did. Hold on. I forgot. You were in more stuff than I remembered at all. So there was that part where we were trying to get you to say something.
You wanted me to talk about politics. You were talking about, I think it was Bush.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on President Bush?
Yeah.
And I just looked away. Jeff is sleeping.
Which is...
And you kept trying to get me back into it. I had no part of it at all.
So our thought was, going into this, that it would be funny if we, like, interviewed this little kid and asked him, like, serious politic questions. Mm-hmm. Which I wasn't into politics at all. I don't think Kyle was either. But we just thought it'd be funny to ask this little kid politics questions. Like a kid say the darndest thing kind of. And that's exactly what happened.
And then he knew more than you?
It wouldn't take much to know more than me. No, he definitely does now, for sure. But then what he said, we were asking him these questions, and he said, like he said, Jeff is sleepy, which was a reference to the Wiggles, which... If anybody knew Tyler when he was a little kid, the Wiggles was like, I mean, the Wiggles were life at that point. Everything was the chugga big red car, and Jeff is sleepy, and wake up, Jeff, and it was so stupid, and it made me want to just run away, but I did not. So that was your thing. And then also, so now as we're talking about that particular episode of the Howdy Show, it made me remember that you were a part of what quite possibly was the most popular segment in all of the Howdy Show was Howdy Size, the exercise thing that me...
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Me, you, and Kyle did Howdy Size, and it was just a ridiculous... It was the same kind of thing. It was like, what can we do stupid with this little kid that would be funny? So we're like, let's make an exercise video.
We all wore like this stupid
We all dressed really stupid. And me and Kyle were like, now we're going to do... And of course we had no idea what we were doing as far as exercise.
Like you tried to do lunges and you couldn't do them either. But
I couldn't.
Just laying down anyways.
Yeah.
So you guys still did better than me.
Exactly. But so you were and I really do think like out of every little segment that we did on the Howdy Show, that hands down was the crowd favorite. Everybody loved Howdy Size more than anything.
I want to watch these.
I think that would be like if we had a greatest hits album of Howdy Show, that would be, which I did. I made a clip show actually. That would be like the very top of the line thing. So then after that, it was Ninja Land when Howdy Inc. made our first full length movie. You were in that. You starred in that. You were called the Dream Kid, was your name.
Yeah.
And I assume you don't remember recording that.
I don't remember recording it, but I've seen it.
But recently, because it was the 10-year anniversary of Ninja Land, you finally sat down and watched it.
Yeah.
And looking back on it, what did you think? Did you like it?
Yes, it was amazing.
Did you like the movie itself?
Yeah.
Like, you loved Ninja Land. Like, it is technically your favorite movie of all times? Shut up.
Yeah.
So you played a huge part in that movie because of the dream that I had of you telling me to be a ninja. I won back my wife, and the bad guy turned into you at the end of the movie.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I just now realized how that kind of makes sense.
It kind of makes sense.
Like he was trying,
but not really.
Maybe like he was trying
this, it wasn't
to.
Your plan, but it seems like maybe he was your inner demons or something like that.
No, that was totally my plan.
Oh, okay.
I'm totally not kidding.
Like he was trying to help you go into the right path by being a bad guy.
I mean, yes.
I just now realized that.
It's stupid as can be. I'm not saying that it's not.
It's a lot of cliches. But
Yeah.
It definitely fits Howdy Inc.
Yeah. So you were a part of that, and it was a very small part in the movie. It was only like you had two different scenes. One of them, they were both like a minute long. Mm-hmm. They were both washed out in black and white. That was the way that I made it look like a dream, I thought.
Yeah.
And I played like some goofy little like high pitched guitar behind it, and that made it a dream. So you've been
that final walking out into the sunset.
Yeah, the closing shot of the movie was me, you, and Mrs. Howdy walking off into the sunset, and Mrs. Howdy, Liz, was pregnant with Lane at the time, so that was our first family Howdy moment. Technically, it really was, which is awesome. All right, I didn't mean to talk 10 minutes about Howdy Inc., but that's awesome. So Tyler, you've been here since the beginning. There's no denying that. So we're, again, glad to have you on the new reincarnation of Howdy Inc. and Howdy Radio. So I don't want to just talk about that. I want to talk about something that you want to talk about.
So, Tyler, you're a big fan of Marvel, and you wanted to tell everybody about the new Spider-Man trailer?
Yes, I did.
So what was your favorite part of the trailer?
Definitely the fact that Iron Man is in it. Or allowed to be in it, I guess I should say. Because, like, the fact that the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so Spider-Man has been owned by Sony for a really long time.
The movie rights of Spider-Man has been owned by Sony.
Yes, so Spider-Man is a Marvel character, but Sony was in charge of making their movies. And since 2000, people have said that Spider-Man 2 so far is the best one. And that was in around 2005.
Which one was your favorite? Of all the old Spider-Man movies, which one is your favorite?
Definitely Spider-Man 2. That one was the one with Doc Ock.
Yeah.
It was definitely the most, like, actual developed Spider-Man movie. Because the first one was just kind of a, hey, let's make a Spider-Man movie. Then Spider-Man 3 was just kind of overstuffed.
Oh my god.
So Spider-Man 2 was definitely the perfect middle between those two.
Because it was the middle movie, that's why.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's exactly
the sequel
why.
always has to be better than the original, but the trilogy always has to flush the entire series down the drain.
Maybe even prequels.
It seems like once you get to part 3 of a lot of different franchises, they kind of start going downhill then. Like, you're starting to reach a little too far for stuff at that point.
One is it starts everyone's, acknowledgement of the franchise, and then you get to the second one, and it was like,
but
whoa,
you thoroughly liked the first one as well, though, right? You liked 1 and 2 a lot, but you did not like 3.
Correct.
And then they rebooted the movies.
Oh, that was awful.
And that was awful. Was there one or two of those?
There was 2 of those.
There was 2.
It was the Amazing Spider-Man.
And the Amazing
Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 by Sam Raimi, and I don't remember who directed the second 2.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to throw an Evil Dead out there. So the second one was your favorite. So the new one is now back a part of the MCU. So that means...
And it's actually the first one, other than the Amazing Spider-Man, that's even able to be a part of it. Because the MCU started in 2008 with The Incredible Hulk and the first Iron Man movie. So other than the 2 Amazing Spider-Man movies, this is the first chance that Spider-Man actually gets to be a part of it.
Right on.
So I think that's really cool.
So you're obviously a huge fan. So this is like opening night. You got to go see this movie, right?
Most definitely.
And it comes out when? You're not 100% sure on that.
July 7th.
Okay, I was about to say brain fart on that one. That's all right. So July 7th, you plan on being at the theater. And now that you have a job, you can pay for your own ticket and go see it, which is awesome.
Definitely.
You're taking me,
Very
though.
cool. I think you might have to take me. No.
No.
So let's talk about this other movie real quick that a trailer came out for this week. Is Stephen King's It remake is coming out this September. Now this is where I get excited. Tyler is crazy about all this whole Marvel stuff, but I'm an old school horror fan. So I like to. I'm cool with them remaking It. I love the original, and I think the new trailer is terrifying. I think the new movie looks awesome. So I think it was the next day after it came out, I was like, Tyler, did you see the It trailer? And he's like, no, I saw like some pictures. I'm like, you gotta watch it. So we watched it, and Tyler, is not exactly the biggest fan of clowns, right?
Yeah, that's safe
I
to
took
say.
Tyler to a haunted house last year for the first time,
screw
which
that.
is one of the best haunted houses in the country. And the clowns, I think, was definitely what messed with him the most, right? No, okay, all right. Well, but we're going to go see it. So I've talked Tyler into going to see it. I told him I'd take him and a friend, and I'd pay for them both to go see it opening night. So I'm very excited about that.
So, we've talked about Disney for most of them, and now that you're on here, what are your thoughts about Disney?
Well, I'm super excited.
We got less than a month. As of recording this right now, we have 29 days to go until we go to Disney World. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
As of right now, I'm putting myself at a 9 because I want my expectations
I was
to
2000,
be thrown out the
wasn't I?
window. I want to be like super excited.
I think I was 2000 when we had this conversation last.
So, what are you looking forward to the most? Any particular ride or show or something that is at the top of your list?
Either the day that we're just spending at the hotel, which is rock and roll themed.
Yeah.
Or going to see the Philharmonic.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
And anything related to the Hollywood studios, because that sounds super fun.
Yeah, that will be a lot of fun.
And while I know that we need to go to Magic Kingdom, it's a little too peachy and kind of cliche for me.
It's Disney.
But it's going to surprise you, because of course I understand that that's your answer, and that's the answer I knew that you would give, and that's perfectly
seeing
fine.
Cinderella running around, I'm assuming it's going to be a great time.
Right. I think
But
once you
it's gonna
get
be a
there
little-
and once you experience it, again, as cliche as it sounds, I think the magic will take over, and I think
The
you'll
magic
be like,
in Magic Kingdom.
yeah, I think you'll be like, wow, this is amazing. I'm calling it right now. I predict that you walk away from this trip enjoying the Magic Kingdom more than Hollywood Studios.
I think you're right.
And
We're
maybe not.
We're going to walk in there, I'm going to see Cinderella's castle, I'm going to pee my pants, and then go
and
back
then
to the
we're
hotel,
gonna have to go to the
change my
hotel and
pants,
change, yeah.
and then experience
Can you not
it.
do that? Because we got a lot of stuff to cram in to one day.
That's fair.
All right, so we'll do. I think we're gonna do like a special Disney episode later on. So we'll have you back then, and you'll be a returning guest on
Yes.
Howdy Radio, the next generation. You did awesome, man. Nothing to be nervous about. You did a great job. One of the best segments we've done yet, right?
Sure.
Sure. It's his brother. He can't say nothing too nice about it. At least they didn't argue for 15 minutes. That was the coolest part about
Talked
it.
for 15 minutes.
Thanks for doing it, man.
Thanks for having me.
The winners of this match, and still tag team champions, Howdy Radio, the next generation.